Hey guys, it's Vapid Square once again, talking in a very soft-spoken way, but whether this is what one would call ASMR is up to you. But this is the impromptu, sort of doing it live, 10-year celebration of my channel. Now you might be wondering, well, first thing, who cares? Second thing, ignore my nails, it was the 5th of September, but that's by the by. As I said in my previous video, there's a lot of struggling involved and, just trying to, basically, this could have been a very big video, and even a year and a half ago, I would have wanted to do something a bit more extravagant and maybe a 𝘠𝘬𝘭𝘢𝘹. But I thought we'd just go to ground zero, we'll start afresh and do something that I'm currently very passionate about, and as YouTube is something that I used to love, that I still love, and a hobby that I'm going to show you guys, which you've already read the title. We will delve into it. I mean, basically, this is a video showcasing all of my watches, the state of the collection. I've been into watches for a while, but this collection has recently been added to, just because of newfound love. You know, when you get those hyperfixations, I get like that with sort of brands and stuff. So like I'll get a hyperfixation on Ben 10 or Sonic or whatever, Teen Titans, so on and so forth. But with watches, cameras, films, technology, like tech, like MacBooks, new phones, folding phones, iPhones, it's always a slow burn. I'm always still interested in the form, and watches are no different. I've always liked watches, I've always appreciated watches, ever since I saw my granddad's watch, which was a Casio, which I recently fixed for him. Just stuck in my mind the design of that watch. It was an analog digital, but it was rugged, but it wasn't a G-Shock, and just the patina that the plastic got. I don't know, I guess nostalgic is the right word, but you got that. You got my dad's Breitling. It's not a Super Ocean, it's not an Navitimer. I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically a dive watch, and again, that was my first forte into actually knowing about luxury brands. So my dad has a Breitling, my granddad had a Casio, and one of these watches, me and my granddad share the same watch but with a different dial. I think I got it for him for Father's Day during the first lockdown in 2020. So that's as far as this collection spans. I mean, it started a while before that, just having watches here and there, and I think, I don't know, maybe this is that is the first watch that I bought. I know it's a toss-up between the two. Actually, no, it's not the first watch I bought, because the first watch I bought, and I guess this segues into actually looking at the collection, the first watch I bought was when I was in year 7, and it's this. This is the Casio. Oh shit! Let's take those away. There is the Casio. Can we get that? Is it gonna? No. It is the Casio CA56. CA standing for calculator, I believe. If you can see that. That says water resistant. That's only to 50 meters, and that see if you can get a proper look at the case. Now this is one of the more modern designs. Obviously, you've got the classic design that Marty wore in Back to the Future, and this was a slightly more refined, and you've also got the databank watches. But as you can see, I don't wear this one anymore, and it hasn't worked for a while. It did come back to life, however this is from water damage. I don't know if you can see at the top there, water has got in, and because obviously it's got the buttons, it's got buttons again, there's more room for error. And water resist is different to water resistant, so I think I buggered it from the get-go. It's never been the same since I took it swimming, but then eventually the band snapped off, which I can't exactly remember, but I think it was something to do with it getting really hot and then really cold, and then I was trying to put it in the watch box and it snapped. But we still got the top bit, so I won't go into this too much. But as I said, I had this since I was in year 7, and tell you what I used to do. I used to put an alarm on like every minute, and it really wound the teachers up. I never got sent out for it, but I don't know, just some riff-raffing around that wasn't just being an annoying cunt at school. Bloody good thing I'm not monetized, eh? But just some plain old fun, I guess. So that's the first one, Casio calculator watch -56. Actually quite a nice design, but hey ho, I always wanted a data bank, so if I was going to get another calculator watch, it'd either be that or the HP, like proper retro vintage calculator watch, but those are really expensive. So there you go, that's the first one. Now what do we do next? Right, so I'll pardon me. We'll do the second watch actually that I think I ever got, which was this. Now I don't know the model number of this either, but this is from their dress line, and it is a male watch. It's not unisex, but this is my daily wear at the moment, and it's also the watch that me and my granddad have the same watch of. He's got a black dial and I've got the blue dial, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a sunburst effect. It's got the it's got the date window there, and it's got sort of, I'm not thinking of the terminology right now, but rather than it being numbers, it's just got the lines going across, and I think it looks, for what it is, because I've been trying to find a watch that's fairly similar to this with the crown guard, but also that isn't just a dive watch. I want something a bit dressy, but also a bit, I don't know, not pure oyster perpetual, basically. And I guess the closest I've found is the Hamilton Khaki King, that's more upmarket, but a very similar case, that's not a dive watch. But then you're going into your field watches, and then I found another, and then going from field watches, I found another one from 𝘍𝘬 on AliExpress, which that I really want to look at. Only issue is the blue dial comes on a strap, whereas I'd want a bracelet. But if we get this one open, have a look at it up close. So I don't know if you can tell the sunburst. I don't think it's really showing up on camera, but you can see a little bit. And the bracelet isn't that awful actually, for it being a £16 watch. And as I said, the dial, for what it is, it's not got the most amount of detail, but it's, you know, it's quite striking actually that it's simple yet effective, basically. And my graphics design teacher would hate that, hold tight Charmaine. I'm gonna really clean this, but I don't know, it's just, it's classless. Anyone could wear this, and the fact it's a Casio, obviously it's got the value, but it makes the brand even, well, mean even less, because the fact that this, take away the badge, take away the name, this is just overall a good design watch. Now the finishing isn't great, and it's seen dings and scratches, but this will last a lifetime, and you don't even, like, you would never take this swimming anyway, but this fits any occasion. It's classy, it's practical, and you don't need anything more than this really, but I quite like this, and this is my personal everyday wear at the moment. And obviously it's got the, you dick, it's got the sentimentality as well of it being a watch that I share with Grandad. Right, what's next? We'll gloss over this one because it's one that everyone has and everyone knows. It is the Casio F91W. What can I say that's not already been said about this watch? It's iconic. I don't need to show you the strap, I don't need to show you the name because it's right there. But this is the watch of all time. It is a god tier. It is, you don't need anything more. It's got alarm, it's got stopwatch, it's got, does it have a jewel date? It doesn't have a jewel date, doesn't have a second time. But it's got date, it's got time, it's got an alarm, it's got hourly markers. It's everything you could ever want. Issue is, it's a bit, the design is quite geeky, I guess would be the trendy way of saying it. It's retro. There are certain Casio watches that do this rendition of watch better and more stylish. However, this is iconic. You can get them with a metal case, you can get them with a silver case, you can get the gold one, you can get the silver one that's like the AE or the AW dash, whatever. But this is the epitome of all. This is where it all started really for Casio. I mean, you've got the Casiotron, which I want to get the reissue of, and obviously the Casio Automatic, but that's by the by, that's a deep cut. I could go on watches for ages. This is just a surface level, but yeah, this is the Casio F91W, and I mean, everyone should have this in their collection. I've had this for about as long as I had the last watch we looked at, and I mean, we'll do a quick up close, but there is not a lot of blemishes at all. Apart from the resin case has dilapidated a little bit, but that's just natural oils, that was always going to happen. But one of the best watches. The only issue being is obviously the design is acquired, and I think it's 28mm, so pretty small watch as well. But overall, god tier watch. I want to have babies with it. So we'll go to the next watch I acquired chronologically, which is in tatters at the moment. Two of them are in tatters, but it's this. This is my Seiko diver. I couldn't tell you much about the horological history of it and what model it is. It's a fairly old model. It's not an SKX or anything like that, I don't think, and obviously with the crown there and not at, what did you say, 5 o'clock. It's not the most, I mean obviously it's a Submariner sort of homage-ish, not exactly the same, obviously you got the day-date window, but it's the same colourway as the iconic one. And it's got 10 bar water resist. Oh, you fucking... Gonna have to cut that out. Let's have a look at what this says here. It's gonna... see. I don't actually know much about this watch. I did do some research back in the day, but it was given to me by my dad, and this was the first proper watch, I guess, with an automatic movement. Still works. I don't wear it because obviously the bracelet needs sorting. I might put on a leather strap, I haven't decided. But dive watches, I mean, I've never wanted another dive watch really. It's never really spoken to me. If I was ever going to get a dive watch, it would be a Tudor Black Bay 56. But that's like a 𝘉𝘬𝘭𝘢𝘹 watch. That's not something that I'm expecting to get in the next 5 years, or even then when I got this, the next 10 years up to now. But it's a very nice feeling watch. It's hefty. It's definitely got a weight to it, and I can't wait to put it back on my wrist again, but it does need a service. But it would basically cost double the value of it. But I guess measure value however which way you want. Get some brass on that, polish it if need be. But again, a really nice piece that I didn't pay anything for. It's got some heritage to it. It's got the whole thing of, obviously my dad gave it to me. It means a lot. It's a nice dial. It's simple yet effective once again, but it's not the most interesting. But it's definitely a staple. Everyone should have a dive watch in their collection with an automatic movement. But I digress. Unless it's the what is it called? The Casio one. It's not a Super Ocean. That's Breitling. It's the you know, the Casio 𝘕𝘬. I'll respect you if you got one of those, but the case size on those are absolutely massive. But yeah, Seiko diver. That's all you could ask for. And it's a screw down crown as well, so proper stuff. Now what do we do next? I guess we go with the next watch I think I got. Toss up between the two. But this I got for my 18th. It is a Seiko 5, and to be fair, even though it's arguably a cheaper watch than the last one, it's the dials. Like, the first thing I noticed when I opened it was the dial, just the depth of it for the money. It was the first time I really thought, wow, okay, fuck off. It's the first time I thought, yeah, fair enough. And like, this is very similar in terms of like sort of everyday wearer as the Casio that I showed you, the one that I showed my granddad. But this is a bit small for me now, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just the taper from the lugs. It doesn't wear the best. I think it's timeless. I think with the right clothes on, especially hitting autumn, wearing a denim jacket, this would fit perfectly. But so would something like a G-Shock. And I had a lot of problems with the bracelet. I managed to get it back on, but it basically bent out of shape. And that's the issue with these Seikos. The bracelets are not the greatest, as we've seen with our previous one. But I love it. I love what it means. My in-law gave it to me for my 18th. And this is probably the one watch that means the most to me. Apart from the watch that I fixed my granddad, just because of what it means. Whereas I bought the blue Casio, this Seiko was given to me, and I will always have this watch. I wish I wore it more, but I've had it on my wrist, and it just doesn't suit what I wear to work, and it's a shame really, but I will be wearing this more in the coming months. So we'll go on to the next one now. We might take a little break and a little cut, but this. Again, this is probably the main reason why I haven't bought a G-Shock yet. It's because of this Ironman this fucking hell, the Timex Ironman Triathlon. I got this for £2 and came with the paperwork, came with the strap. Issue is with the strap, I was working as a barista whilst I was wearing this. It was my work watch. It got really smelly, filled with milk and coffee grind, and it being basically 20 years old at that point anyway, I decided to just take it off and probably put a NATO strap on it at some point. But this is iconic for me anyway. It's the only Timex I own, and it's built like a tank, all things considered, and it's got a weird heart rate function which I've never understood. That button there, but this has got everything that the Casio had and a bit more. I won't go through the modes, but it's proper kit. Like, it's got a stopwatch, and I guess that's the main thing is for triathlons, but this is also a good alternative for a G-Shock, and they are cheaper for decent models. I don't know, I just think for the money I couldn't beat it. It's a decent size, and a watch like this, a Beta, is what everyone should have in their collection. But again, the strap was absolutely atrocious. It was original, had Timex on the back and everything, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Don't have much to say about a lot of these. I'm going to show you a funny one in a bit, which isn't in chronological order, but again, it's just I bought this one for the pure fascination of it. I'll tell you the story now. So yeah, Timex Triathlon. Right, so this is a what does it reckon it is? It is a Rolex Oyster Perpetual date with a day date and a, what is it called, a Cyclops. It doesn't work, it doesn't wind, it's not automatic, it's got a presidential bracelet on it, and it's a fake. I've got this at a car boot for about £5. People say that's a waste of money, but I just thought, you know what, the proportions aren't awful for being a fairly old fake. And it just made me think, I mean, this is nowhere near any of my Seikos or the watch I'll show you next. But if this is what a fake Rolex looks like, imagine what a real one looks like. And this wears pretty well on my wrist, especially with the longer lugs, even though it's a small watch. Can't wait to put a Rolex on my wrist, or a very similar watch, maybe a Tudor Prince date on my lovely 6-inch wrist. I'll be stoked. But I just keep this for the novelty. I think it's quite funny, and the Rolex on the back here is on the piss, which is also quite funny. But for some reason the guy really didn't want to sell it. I don't understand, because the watch doesn't even work. It's just funny to have in the collection. But yeah, there you go. My one and only replica, if you can even call it that. I've got 5 minutes on the camera, so maybe we can blitz these. I'll do 2 of them together, but this one, for my fellow watch enthusiasts, hello fellow kids, this is the Addy's Dive. I don't know the actual name of the model, but this is the most bang for your buck watch you can get at the moment. For £40 you get all of this machine polish, you get this desert dial, which I will once again zoom in, you can see that, and it's a mecha quartz, so you do get that sweeping effect. No date though, which is a shame, but for the money you really can't complain. And honestly, I mean, this, even compared to the Seiko's, is probably my best feeling bracelet, the best feeling watch. It's got that domed crystal. This is, in terms of specs, the best watch I own, and it cost me 40 quid. And it's probably why I don't have too many watches in my collection, because unless it really means something, and this was just for pure value, there's no point in getting it, because I have got the whole prospect of, I've got the whole range of watches. I've got an expensive one, which is the Seiko Diver, my most expensive, which is about 300 quid. And then my next two are basically just quartz watches, but this one, best value you can get. Now, Addy's Dive, bit of a dodgy name, but I really like this watch and I wear it quite a lot. In fact, I'll be wearing this tomorrow. Right, so my next two, we pop it back into thing. Sorry, my last two as well. Now this is also a good video as a testament, because we can do one next year and see what the differences are. But these two are sort of odd ones out. This one means quite a lot to me, but this one I just bought because, I mean, this one was 3 quid new from Shein, or Shein, and I'd never seen a fake or homage of a micro brand, which is the 𝘠𝘬𝘭𝘫𝘰𝘺. And as I said, 𝘠𝘬𝘭𝘫𝘰𝘺, that's a micro brand, and they made this, and for 3 quid, I mean, it looked alright, but compared to the Addy's Dive, it's a pile of shit. It doesn't, the bracelet isn't nice, the dial, as detailed as the markers are, the chronograph part is misaligned, the date is hard to read, and obviously it's quartz, but the actual 𝘠𝘬𝘭𝘫𝘰𝘺 is quartz. I don't know, it just seems disappointing to me, and the fact that the case is like an anodized aluminium, but it's not the right size, and the shape is just really absurd. This one I got for my 18th from, once again, my in-law, because he's an absolute mad lad. Shout out to him, my father-in-law, he is a fucking G. He got me this for my 18th. My dad was in the army, so again, means quite a lot. But I need to take some links out, as you can see. But they're so bloody stubborn. But both of these are quartz. This mine a gold watch as well. This one I like, this one I lost the love with, but it's worth nothing, so I might as well keep it. And I won't be getting a metric chronograph when I do get a 𝘠𝘬 watch. I'll be getting the metric light, which I think is perfect, and that will be my dress watch. It's something different that not a lot of people have. These are my last two. I haven't worn much of either of them, this one more than that one, but they're both stayed in the watch box for the same amount of time, basically. But I'm glad I can show it to you two, these two to you guys, because again they mean a lot. My camera's running out and I didn't plan this video the best, but that is the state of the collection 2025. If you want to see 2026, please put it down in the comments. And if you did like this video, which, I mean, if you did, amazing, appreciate that, but you don't have to. Please like it, please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you later, my taters.